Hello, my loves. I'm Maria Miranda, and I'm happy to welcome you all to the Diary of the Three Marias, where we take a journey into our deeper selves. This journey was inspired by my own story of breaking through 3 generations of baggage in order to become my true self. So it would be an honor if you all join me so we can all start living, not just surviving. Thank you. Ciao. Hello, my loves. Maria Miranda here. Welcoming you back to Diary of the Three Marias. And today's episode is going to be talking about doubt. The doubt when you start working on this new journey into your true self and you start questioning whether or not you really are on the right path, and you start to question whether you're actually going to finish the projects that you've started. In my case, am I going to finish my book? In my case, I started just meeting a bunch of weirdos on Tinder, and I just felt like, maybe this is not the right path. Maybe I'm just kidding myself. And so when that happens, I think it's just really, really, truly important to double down. And when that sort of doubt starts seeping in, take that extra meditation session, take that extra journaling or prayer, because it's very easy to get caught up in the doubt, but you have to recognize that that's just fear, and it takes away from the progress you've already made. Like if you just start letting that doubt seep in and making you hold you back, instead of seeing the progress you've made. Because the way I see it is, ever since I started this journey, I feel like it's been like different puzzle pieces, and they each fit perfectly into this process. And of course, there's still missing pieces, but if you negate, what you've already done, then you can't progress. And so in my case, I was just meeting all these random having all these strange things happen. For example, I had a gentleman who, at first I don't hear from him for like a whole week. And then he tells me some lame excuse that he lost his phone or that his phone died. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but I already heard that line from a different guy. So it was really hard to really believe that, people's phones just stop working, and it's two different guys. It was like too much of a coincidence. I was like, why am I spending time on these douchebags, kind of a thing. And then just the same, this guy especially, the same lame line. Oh, I worked and then I worked out and then I walked my dog. It's like, it's the same thing every day, and yet you're asking me for pictures of me wearing, less and less articles of clothing, which no, can I get a cup of coffee? Can we go out to eat? Sheesh, at least something before you get something. I'm not saying you know what I mean. But anyways, I digress. Stay focused on the journey, not that particular situation that makes you question, that makes you feel that intense feeling of doubt. So like I said before, this journey started with, a failed romantic relationship, and then the projects and the meditation and the journaling helped bring me to a creative process that I've trusted and I'm very excited about. But then the doubt, crept in. And so, but you have to push through that. You have to push through that because, like I said, you see the progress, you've got the puzzle, right? And you have the pieces in place. So you don't throw that away. You keep building on it. And so one of the things that I was pushing through, even though I was meeting all these, sort of losers on Tinder, is that I just felt like I'm still in the driver's seat. I'm still doing something different to break that cycle that I've always had of staying in these relationships too long. Like the first guy I met on Tinder, I was very invested in that. I thought I was already in love and all that craziness. And then I really saw the person for who they were. There's like little lies here and there. And I was like, if he's lying now about little things like his height and things that shouldn't even matter, then, what kind of relationship long term can you have with this person? So that felt good to not stay in that state and admit that I just wanted to be friends. And then he decided he didn't want to be friends, which is fine. But then I had another person who said they wanted to meet me, and then it just sort of fell through. And so it's like I started questioning whether I really wanted to continue dating. And I had the guy with the pics and which I already talked about, but like it's all of it makes you doubt. But then if you look at your progress and your journey, and again wanting to break that cycle, the biggest thing is like if I really think about it, my last 2 boyfriends after my marriage were the first guys I met. The last 2 boyfriends, and I was with one guy for 3 years. And then this breakup that brought me to this journey, thankfully, I wasn't in that relationship very long, but it was so intense that when it was gone and that person cut me off so abruptly because he blocked me, even though we're neighbors. I mean, how do you block something you see, every day pretty much? But my point is push through that doubt and continue writing and continue with those personal projects that you've always wanted to do that you never got around to because you're too busy surviving and not really living and not really getting to that point of doing things for your own joy, happiness, and bliss. You really have to hunker down in these moments of doubt, because that's just your ego trying to hold you back from being your true self. When the doubt seeps in, you got to double down, and you really have to push past it, because I do wholeheartedly believe that everybody in this world is unique for a reason. We're unique for a reason. We're here for our own journey. I do believe we're energy, because one of the things that I read about through this process, and I read some like books and on meditation and also visioning, and I even listened to a yogi, and he was talking about how we're energy and how our bodies change throughout time, but obviously our spirit is our spirit. So again, when we're starting to feel those feelings of doubt, you have to push through. You have to focus on your particular puzzle, because we're all brought to this world. I wholeheartedly believe there's a reason why we're all different, why we're all unique. And so because we're all different and we're all unique, you have to stay focused on your inner path, and also remember that as long as what your inner self, your true self is not hurting anybody else, is you can't go any wrong. Like if you look inward, you're not gonna. There's no such thing as a misstep, because you are who you are and you have your own path and journey. I mean, through this process, I was reading books on visioning, and I was listening to a yogi. And one of the things that I remember that I thought was really cool was that he said that we're all energy. And the example that he used to illustrate that is how our bodies change over time. But your spirit is your spirit. So stay true to that. And and listen to the it's not just looking, because I used to just focus on the external. Okay, what comes to me? But the internal piece was missing. So now that I'm focusing on my internal piece, the external things that are presented to me, they make sense. It's almost like, okay, this is what my true self is saying. This is what the universe and God and the universe is manifesting, is showing me. So it's like a connection between the internal and the external, which is a beautiful thing. And that's why you have to push through the doubt, because then you miss that, you miss those keeping to make those connections, is what I'm saying. So for me, the pushing through the dating thing was actually worked out for me, because then I started realizing that maybe I needed to change things a little bit. So, in tandem with what I was saying about the yogi and how we're energy and yogi, I mean, like it's like Buddhist, like a Hindu kind of person, that guru that, helps people with their spirituality. When I talk about God and the universe, I was raised Catholic. So it was like I was always pray upward, right? And not inward. And so with the meditation, but I still do my prayer, because that's how I was raised with the Catholic and stuff. So it's kind of like incorporating elements of different ways of reaching your true self or your spirituality. Because again, we're all different. So it's not going to be the same for every person. There's no one way. There's no one right way. So you could be, it could be Allah, or it could be Jehovah. It could be whatever it is that speaks to your true self and your spirit. Then that's your guide. That's your model. There's no one way. That's the other thing I loved about this journey, is that taking bits and pieces from different writers, different from Eastern to Western perspectives of spirituality, and making it my own based on what my inner self is telling me. So again, push through the doubt. Even this podcast for me is part of pushing through that doubt. And because I question, oh my, is anybody going to listen to me? But putting it out there, being seen, being heard is super important. So stay with the journey, stay with your meditation, stay with the journaling, whatever works for you for you to feel that energy, that spark. And so continue to stay with me. And thank you for listening. And this is Maria Miranda. I'm on Instagram and on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining me, and ciao.